business bus tour. And you may remember, Cheryl, on the first Black business bus tour that we took the bus to James see Pontiac. That was out on breakfast for a floor. And we would walk around, we'd be there about 45 minutes, and then we'd get back on the bus and we'd go out. But the first tour we had, one of the ladies went back that Monday and purchased a car.
I remember.
From that point on, yes, they were our sponsor with Kenny Russian. I remember Kenny Russian would make sure that the bus was covered every single month during that time. It was free to ride the bus. Vendors was only paying, I think, $25 during that time. And Yolanda Anthony, she was one of the first vendors at the Harbor Club. The formula that we have now with the Black Business Bus Tour is the formula that we have had from day one. Only thing we switched up, Cheryl, I think it was the third Black Business Bus Tour, when people would ask me, where are we going to go? And I would say, we're going to go to Bella Fia Chocolate. And they said, I don't like chocolate. You remember Bella Fia Chocolate?
Oh, one of my advertisers, absolutely.
Yes. And Miss Bigfoot. And I don't like those shoes. I don't want to go there. So I said, no, I'm not going to never from this point on tell anyone where we're going to go.
Absolutely.
So from that point on, no one knows. Even the captains do not know, because you tell the captains, they're going to tell everybody. And so from that point on, no one knows where we're going to go. And we go out and shop with Black-owned businesses. And Miss with us the second bus tour. The second bus tour all the way up until when he passed away. Black Business Bus Tour, sure, this has always been with Black-owned motor coach bus owners. We never went outside of that, which I'm proud to say that, we've gone up to as many as 6 buses at one time. Each bus goes to 4 Black-owned businesses. As time has passed, we've partnered with the NAACP 3 different times, way back when Miss Spencer was there. She coordinated on the planning it, and we, the Black Business Bus Tour. I think we staged, if I'm not mistaken, from Ybor City, from the Good Luck Cafe, and then we returned back at that location. And we've had so many businesses over the years. And one thing that makes me a little sad is that we would go to so many Black-owned beauty supply stores back in the day, and all of them have gone out of business. I don't think any of them last years in the community. And so I thought it was always so important for us to have beauty supply stores, and we support them. Nowadays, more of our African-American women are going more natural, so they are looking for My Shades of Texture and other Black-owned beauty supply stores. I don't know if you remember, Cheryl, there was a bakery on 40th Street. I never forget that bakery. We rolled up to the bakery. 50 people got off the bus. We went in and bought every single pastry, cake, donut, cupcake out of her bakery. And she was done for the day. And we have many stories of such. The biggest Christian bookstore that was out on Southdale Mabry.
Yes.
We went in and we purchased so many books out of her shop, and clothing stores throughout the community. We've had a number of urban clothing stores, African American stores, African extravaganza. Let me go there.
Yes. Tampa Park Plaza.
African extravaganza Mr. Ty was with us when we started the Black Business Bus Tour. He would have a vending table when he was selling other products, and all the way up until the time they opened up African Extravaganza, and they have been a part of the Black Business Bus Tour for years. A huge supporter of the Black Business Bus Tour, and they understand the mission. And I always like talking about, Cheryl, and you remember this, is Accents Decor in Ybor City. Miss Barbara Giffen.
Oh, way back.
It was a store, if you've ever gone into Bombay in the mall.
Yes.
That store was just like that store. The first Black Business Bus Tour, we went there in Ybor City. It was right up from Columbia Restaurant. We purchased so many items that they had, the bus driver had to open up the bottom of
the cargo
thing to put all of the merchandise underneath the bus. Awesome sounds. Yes. Awesome
Candy,
sounds.
You know what? I was there, and because you mentioned this, and I was having this conversation, and that's why these stories are so important. You got to compile them all together, all the testimonials, and just put them in a book, because I was at so many of the ones that you're mentioning, and I was sharing with my co-host, Diva J, how you had invited me to be one of your advisors, and we were planning the very first bus tour. Rocky came home from college, and I couldn't attend the meeting, and I sent him. And I was sharing with Diva J. He fell in love with the concept. It's what he had been preaching ever since he was just a teenager. A teenager. I was trying to say what was that middle group in there. But that being said, and he would provide the entertainment on the buses. But we were meeting at the Harbor Club, and I'll never forget, Kenny Russian was such a great supporter. He came, he met the guests, and he pulled me to the side. He said, Cheryl, I won't be able to go. He had a family emergency or something. Reached in his pocket, grabbed a wad of money, and told me to go and spend it. And I'm sorry, but the bulk of that money went to accessories in Ybor City. And that's the business, Barbara Giffen, and that's who you were just talking about. And because it was mostly home decor, she had some other things, but the majority of it was home decor. That's why it was called accessories, to accessorize your home. And so but I spent his money, and I gave all of the gifts away, and that's why they needed more space under that cargo. But that's the whole point about support and collaboration. And even when we can't come, we still buy a ticket for someone else or spend money at another business. And I remember Jamesville. I remember they wanted to take Rocky on. They wanted Rocky Diva J to become their marketing specialist. And so many businesses were able to come about and sustain themselves. Bella Fia, Deborah, one of my dearest friends and advertisers, Providence Road. She had a little shop over there in Providence Plaza. And we bought up all of her chocolate. Yep. And so those are stories, Candy, that must be told. But let's segue to what's about to happen. You're calling it, well, I'm seeing the flyer, the Community Reunion Black Saturday, but it's also the reunion bus tour too.
Yes.
And tell us how you began to collaborate. And let me take a moment. Welcome back, Queen. Queen is one of my invited co-hosts that comes on third and fourth, or really fourth hour of the show. But she's here because we're talking about the Black Business Bus Tour that's about to happen on the Rebirth campus, which is where her business is located. So I'll start. Candy, tell us a little bit about how you and Regina got to collaborate on this particular tour.
From day one, Regina feels like family to me. She and my daughter are real close, and the Black Business Bus Tour has gone to her location when she was at another spot. Right. And she and I was talking about a month ago or so when she was in Columbus, Georgia for an event. And we mentioned that, the bus tour is coming up soon. And she just said, why don't we do this at Rebirth? And that had mentioned it to Pastor, and Pastor had said, Pastor Hudson, you know, why she doing it over here? Yeah, it's open, you know, and I'm thinking, yeah, it's open. Why not? I love that location. I've gone there for a couple of events that she's put on. Has always been grand, and it just birthed from that. So on this Saturday, we have our community reunion. You know, normally at our reunions, Motown Maurice, Cato, Lacey, and so many other people come back for the reunion Black Business Bus Tour, where the buses are going to go out at 9 a.m., return back at 1. But between 12 and 3 is our vending showcasing. I haven't got to the point where I say pop-up yet. I'm still stuck at vending showcasing.
It's all good.
It sounds good to me. So we will have at least 50 vendors showcasing their businesses. We have our food vendors as well. We have our food trucks that will be out there. And we want the whole entire community to come out and support our Black-owned businesses. We want you to come and take pictures. We want you, if you do live videos, we want to let everyone throughout the city of Tampa, the state of Florida, throughout the country to know what we are doing collectively in our city, supporting Black-owned businesses. The vendors are a variety of vendors. We have a number of nonprofits that are there giving out information as well. So Cheryl, I'm just excited. Folk know that coming up for the Black Business Bus Tour, I don't sleep. We got to get this done. When the mission is done on Saturday, 6 o'clock, I'll go to sleep.
I heard that. And we do want you to get some rest. So you're on the road, but whatever you're doing, you got to turn around and be back here. But I want to segue over to Queen. And this is why it's important to go. One of the things that she will do. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going through, we are live and I'm reading. So that being said, I wanted to, I don't know if it was the last one I attended, and it could have been, we were over on the campus of 5508 on the THAP group campus. And to see you had some new people and you had a diverse group of people. But I'm telling you, Candy, when the white bus tourists came into her shop, they went crazy and just started buying stuff. I don't even know who they were buying, Diva J. I don't know who they were buying the dashikis and the clothing for. They just felt important that they purchased and they left some money. And matter of fact, the earrings that I have on are from Accent Styles Boutique. I got the earrings. I got the matching. No, this is from Regina. These are from, I have to remember where I get all this stuff from, Accent Styles Boutique. And the dress I'm wearing is from Regina, Queens. And it's beautiful. She had it on when I went to visit her the other week. You guys can't see it, but it is the most comfort. It has a Black woman's face on it. Maybe she can show you one in the store. They sold out. I think I got the last one. Would have taken the one that she had, but she's only so small. But I say that because this is what's supporting Black-owned business. Even my shoes from Accent Styles Boutique. Now, Angie Delganti is in Africa now. She'll be back in a couple of months. But go ahead, Regina, take it away. And we got to hear from Diva J, and she will be on a bus tour soon. But Queen?
Yes. Well, I just want to say that Candy is amazing. We are so blessed to have her. Columbus can't have you. I keep telling you that. You're just in Columbus, but they cannot have you. What she started, I don't think any other city is doing what she started for us. And I think it sort of spilled over from city to city, county to county, state to state, but she's been doing this for years. And it's just a blessing that we have her here in Tampa. Yes. And that she continued to do it, for these, 16 years. Even when we weren't awake as Black people, You know what I'm saying? She was, that's how I know that it's a blessing, you know, what she is doing, because we as Black people, we still were shopping at other stores. We weren't aware of our stores. And she's driving that year after year after year with consistency. And I think it's amazing that she's doing that. And she's watched us open our business and grow over time. And I'm sure she has some stories. I tell her all the time she needs to write a book, because to see the businesses open and to see us grow as a community and to see us shop with one another and to make this day happen for us is something amazing. Most other people look forward to it. I know I do. But when the bus pulls up to your store and they're exclusively shopping for you and you sell out, I'm telling you, when they leave, everybody do a Holy Ghost dance. I don't care who everybody, you just, because the money, you know what I'm saying, that is spent and the stuff that people are buying, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So I couldn't hold my tongue for this event. I told her, I'm like, Candy, why not have it at Rebirth? We have parking. We have the park. It's in the center.
Regina, tell them about the additional parking that you all have.
Yes, we've partnered with Leary and Erwin Votek to use their parking. So they have, I think, about at least 1,000 or more spaces over there for the overflow. So we have no problem with parking. And the buses, perfect for the buses to line up, come in, get out. I just thought it was a perfect fit. Like she said, we talked about it when we went to Columbus. I was on a mission for the Lord, and she was doing her thing, not realizing that the Lord was bringing us together for this very moment. And I was just overwhelmed when she said yes. I was overwhelmed when she said yes. And we're just so pleased to have her. Reverend Hudson was over the top with joy. And I think it's a good fit for our community and our businesses.
Absolutely. And I've got to hear from Diva J, and she'll take us to commercial, and then we'll come back and we'll start with Diva J, because she's got a lot of nuggets that she's going to share. But you hear the excitement, Diva J, in just the three of these queens here talking about the Black Business Bus Tour. Diva J? Unmute, Diva.
Absolutely. So I was saying, and hearing you ladies talk and continuing to hear Queen, it takes me back to this past weekend when I went to watch the movie The Woman King. And,
oh my gosh.
And to know I'm on a call right now with royalty. You know what I mean? The trails that you ladies have blazed, this Black Business Bus Tour is amazing. I will be on the next one for sure. So my first question is going to be for folks like me who you're from Tampa, you moved away, now you're back, and now you're learning about all of these gems that you never really took advantage of. So my first question for you, Candy, is for folks that might miss us on this commercial break, how can they sign up for your bus tours? How can they stay in the know of what's going on?
They can go to our website, blackbusinessbustourflorida.com. They can, of course, DM me on Facebook, Candy Lowe, CandyLowe. We're on all social media platforms. Of course, they can give me a call at 813-394-6363. And our next tour is coming up in possibly January, maybe back here at this festival, which we have been for years.
Awesome. And well,
so Diva J, Candy didn't tell you, but the bus tour for Saturday sold out.
I'm sure.
But Candy, can they still drive? Can they still follow the buses, Candy? Well, y'all, Candy is remote, so she may be coming in and out, so we do apologize for that. But for the most part, we've heard everything that she's had to say. Candy, can they still follow along in their vehicles?
Yes, we've had a history of that as well, Cheryl. People still want to be a part of it, and we've had cars trail behind the buses.
I know y'all don't want to be in the back of the bus, but if you didn't get your ticket, you're going to have to follow in the back of the bus. But listen, Diva J, did you have another? We have 1 minute before we break for commercial. And I see Jarvis has made it on. Jarvis, you'll be on in just enough time to turn your video off and put your backdrop up and then come back after the commercial break. Diva J?
So one of my final questions for Candy before we go on break is, during the pandemic, you know, a lot of businesses didn't survive and yours has survived. Just give us a really quick answer, if you can, on how did you make that happen? How did you stay connected with the community, with your vendors? What did that look like for you?
I stayed connected with social media. I stayed connected on WTMP radio. I stayed connected coming in and on In Touch a couple times. I stayed connected with the Florida Sentinel newspaper, doing a story. I stayed connected doing a Zoom with a number of businesses early on in March, April. We had a number of businesses. We also partnered with the city of Tampa. We did the honk in the park at Rolette Park. This was early on with the pandemic, but we had a number of the businesses. They would line up throughout the park on the curb, and we would ride around the entire park and get flyers and business cards to go to their business at a later date. So we never stopped marketing our Black-owned businesses in the city of Tampa.
Well, on that note, we're going to stop for a commercial break, and Candy can come back and tell us about it, because I got to witness that, and it was a beautiful thing. So back in a moment. Videos, mic, off. In Touch has to pay some bills.
Ray Williams Funeral Home, providing the highest quality, professional and caring service for your family. Call Jeffrey Rose at 813-253-3419. That's 813-253-3419. Or visit him at 301 North Howard Avenue, Tampa, Florida. Ray Williams Funeral Home, for the finest care and quality service.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Hi, this is Angela Birdsong, and I'm running to be your next Hillsborough County Commissioner in District 2. And I want to encourage you to vote by mail. You can do that by contacting your supervisor of elections in your county. Voter suppression is real, and we have to be prepared to vote and get your family members registered. Do it today. Call me if you have a question. 813-476-4837.
And we are back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Business with SJC. I'm here with the third hour of the show. My co-host, Jeanette Diva J. Howard Smith, and we have been talking to these amazing queens, and they're talking to us about what's happening in the Bay Area. I see that we have our other guest that has popped on, and Diva J, we'll let him introduce himself, because nobody can introduce Jarvis the way Jarvis can introduce Jarvis. But Jarvis, before you come on, we were just talking about, Diva J asked a question about how, I was just about to say, how Candy was able to maintain the Black Bus Business Tour during the pandemic. And I love the fact that she garnered all these business owners together on a Zoom. With that being said, Diva J, go ahead and finish.
Absolutely. I think one thing that Candy shared that was so important was the marketing. Hold on one second. We've got a little interference. So if you have a radio on, turn your radio off. If it's on online, please turn it off, or let's just mute while Diva J and Candy are talking. Thank you. I'm sorry, Diva J. Go ahead. No worries. So what I was saying was what Candy shared was excellent, because it shows that despite the pandemic, not only did you continue to do your marketing, but you were a lifeline for many businesses who needed you to do that. So that they could stay afloat, they could stay relevant, they could stay in front of their potential consumers. And so I think that's just confirmation. A lot of things that you and I discussed, Cheryl, throughout the pandemic for businesses was how to stay in front of your audience and how to stay ahead of the pandemic and really use the tools and resources that were at our fingertips. Go ahead, Candy. I see you have another point.
Also, I want to say, Jeanette, is that we had during the pandemic, 2020, we also did a Black Business Bus Tour parade. Yes. We rode around to Black-owned businesses. I want to say it was about 40 cars. We met at Kay's Kitchen, and we rode around to the Black-owned businesses. And we just all trailed one another going to the Black-owned businesses. Matter of fact, Regina, we went to her spot as well on that in the midst of the pandemic when it was at its height.
And that is amazing. That's amazing. Again, thank you so much for being the one that has led this way. And to Regina's point, we're lucky to have you here in Tampa. And I can only imagine what this would look like nationally, internationally. It's a takeover. So I don't have to be the first, and I'm sure I'm not, but the best is yet to come, because this is absolutely amazing. And the fact that as a society, we are becoming a bit more woke, right? We are becoming a bit more intentional about how we spend our money, the cycle of our money within our own communities. We have a lot of young minority entrepreneurs like myself really trying to be intentional about those efforts. So this is just amazing. I absolutely will be telling everybody I know. So I plan to have a little crew with me come January. So that way we can continue to just support what you're doing, and really more importantly, support the businesses that the tour patronizes. So thank you, ladies, for definitely being on. Cheryl, I'm gonna throw it back to you because I know we got another guest for the second half.
Well, listen, Diva J, and you know how my mind works. And Candy has been doing this for a very, very long time. And that's the importance of having our young entrepreneurs come in and share with us, because we should really just have a day to where state by state, city by city, everybody is getting on the bus and going to the Black businesses in their community. And it's time. It's time. That should be that next reunion. Not just one place or one city where Candy has to go to all of them. Just get those representatives. It reminded me of Juneteenth. You get those representatives from each one of those states. We all come together and we just make it a day. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, because I see how excited you are. You know, I'm always excited about supporting our Black-owned businesses. And Queen, you were there. You were part of the pandemic tour. And what that meant, even if a person couldn't come into your store, they could shop online. But Candy was able to drive the buses, have individuals take their cars. Now that little piece that Road Up Park, that was amazing. It was such fun because people came out, they were hollering and screaming all out of the windows, and they had the children, because it was just something we had not done before, and we were just acting silly. So, but it was a good silly to support the businesses. But speaking of support, Candy has an amazing cohort with her, and that is Brother Jarvis. And Brother Jarvis has been with Candy for a long time. As I mentioned earlier, he was also one of the founders of Tea and Conversation, and you can catch them, I believe it's every second and fourth Saturday, but they'll talk about that. But I'm going to let Jarvis, as I hold this up, and Ricky, if you have the cover, put the cover of the book up. It's hard to do it because I have a backdrop behind me and it's green. So the green screen is kind of confusing. There it is. Ricky has the book up. I got this book from Jarvis, read the book. It is a must-have for your library. And Jarvis, let me just say, I love what you said. And see, I always buy books because it's important to support those businesses. So I have to gift my book because Jarvis insisted that he sends me a book. But this is what Jarvis wrote: courage, commitment, and change. This book will change lives and bank accounts. Thank you, Cheryl, for your support. Welcome to the show, Jarvis K. Alamine.
Yes, thank you, Cheryl, and to your wonderful panel, to your co-host, and to Queen Regina. We love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'm very excited to be here. I'm with all these queens and Black Girl Magic. Black Girl Magic is on fire in this town and all over the country. We're just excited to support and be impactful. Not just be impressive, but to be impactful, to make a difference in people's lives, to change lives and change bank accounts. That's what we do.
Well, tell us a little bit about your book, and will they be able to purchase your book this Saturday?
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am. We will be having a table at the Black Business Bus Tour. Matter of fact, we kicked it off in April at the Black Business Bus Tour. We sold a hunk of books there back in April. So we'll be there with some more books. The tour is going good. The book is creating a sales mentality, how you see yourself as a salesperson. And let's be clear about this. Selling is the art of persuasion. If you got a promotion in your job, you're selling. If somebody persuaded you to marry them, they sold you. If you got clothes on, somebody sold them to you. So everything you do, selling ideas, selling concepts, is all about persuasion. So what we have to become is professional persuaders. And I'm the one to tell you, I'm the best ever did it. I'm telling you, it's not bragging, it's actual facts. I'm the best 40 years of experience. I put together these techniques. They are all in my book. This will be the best $15 investment you've ever made in your life because I'm good at it. I'm the best. And let me tell you something. You're blessed to have somebody with the skills that I have in this city, not talking about it. I knocked on doors. I put on suit and tie. I sold water treatment system. I sold alarm system. I sold insurance. I sold solar. I went door to door selling perfume, watches, socks. I did it all. And I'm good at it. And while I'm good at it, I wrote the book on it. So if you want to be a part of what I'm doing, the first thing, go to enhancemententerprises.com or call 727-468-5913. Get this book and put it in your library. You got to have it.
And I agree, Diva J, one of the best pieces I like about his book, it's a very interactive book. And if you really want to remember what you are reading, and these are gems, as you would say, Diva J, these are brand strategist nuggets. He practiced what he preaches. And if you can't see yourself in that position, you're missing the boat. I was listening to an interview, Jarvis, this morning. I was listening to an interview with Tyler Perry on the Today Show. And Tyler said at a very, very difficult time in his life, when he was poor, this is what he did. He would go to a parking lot at a car dealership, see himself in the car. He would go to a theater, look at the actors and actresses and see himself in those positions. Everything he wanted to do, he went where it was so that he could see that someday I can be there. Someday I can be, matter of fact, he has a new show coming out, but that's a conversation for another day. And let me put this plug in. Thank you, Rocky. My son was here, Candy. I wish we could have planned it where he could have been here for the reunion tour, but he was here because we lost our uncle, his uncle, my brother-in-law, and he had to fly back. But before he went back to LA, it was important that we both went to the movie theater to see Woman King. Now that's something we need to put the fuck on the bus and go and see. It's a phenomenal movie. And even if you listen to Viola Davis, Jarvis, to your point, if you don't have a book where you're helping people to see the vision, where he asks you the question, and you got to be honest with yourself. You got to answer the questions, say you missed the mark, and then he'll tell you how to come back and be a benchmark. This is a great book. The exercises, and I'm going to just be honest with you, I was like, do I really have to answer these questions? I consider myself a professional, but I'm better because I did it. I did the work, and it is a little bit of work, but you got to do it. So you can come back and say, I'm the best at what I do. So thank you, Jarvis. You will be there on Saturday. You've been a part of Tea and Conversation in the beginning. Candy has talked to us entirely about the tour itself, and I know you're an intricate part of that. But talk to us a little bit about Tea and Conversation.
Well, let me tell you somehow that started. I was at the Black Business Bus Tour. Rocket was there. Your son, he was there. Cato was there. I was at the second bus that rolled out. The second bus that rolled out. And how this happened is, she just, at that time, I didn't know about texting. I had an old flip phone. She used to text me. I said, why did this sister don't just call me? Keep texting me. My daughter was about 8 years old. She said, Daddy, you're going to have to learn that because that's how people do it now. And I learned how to text her back. And she said, come to the bus tour and just give an inspirational message as the people get on the bus. And that's what I did, and the rest is history. So what we did after the bus tour, we didn't want to go home. And I always said, you know, you got a good program. If people hang around when your program is over, it's a good program. People run to the door and get in their car and leave when your program is over, it was a bad program. So we used to hang around and we started talking about relationships. Because at that time I was single and I love to talk about relationships. So I was going to get it right because I've been married a number of times and I was interested in how to develop good relationship, male-female relationships. And that's my next book. It's going to be about relationships. I'm working on it right now. And that book going to put me over the top because I got good experience in that area. So I've been married a number of times and I got some valuable information to share. So
he's another expert.
That's right. I am an expert with it. And let me tell you this, Sister Cheryl. So we start talking about relationships, then we start talking about politics, and then we just start teen conversation because Candy had the tea shop and they start building and building and building. And we became the go-to spot for political empowerment. So when Barack Obama ran for president, they all said you got to go down there to the Harbor Club and get with Brother Jarvis and Sister Candy. They'll talk about politics. But I'm telling you, it has been a great run. This town is big enough to be a city, country enough to be a town. I've been here 35 years. I love this city. We're going to make this city all it can be. They ain't doing it in Atlanta. They're not doing it in Philly. They're not doing it in New York. They're not doing it in Miami, but we're doing it in Tampa, and we're going to continue to do it. And on that note, next Wednesday, you better find your way to Lakeland, to Polk County, the B2B Blender, which Cheryl and the Black Pages hosted last month, and last Wednesday of the month. And I'm hosting this last Wednesday of the month, which is Wednesday, September the 28th, from 6 to 8. We will have a networking event. I'll be doing a book signing. It's going to be at The Well, which is a connection, culture, business connection place. It's 114 Parker Street, Lakeland, Florida, 33808. And we do have a few vending opportunities available. You can call Jarvis Elamine at 727-486-5913. Once again, 727-486-5913 or 5913, or you can go to enhancemententerprises.com. I want to pivot real quick, if you allow me. You got to always have sensible flexibility. What we did and Candy did during the pandemic, you have to pivot. And you're going to be successful in your business. You got to have flexibility, and you got to have sense about your flexibility. You got to know when you have to pivot. You got to understand that social media. You got to pivot with that. You got to pivot now with the graphics. You got to pivot now with understanding the sales process. You got to understand visualization. You got to have the power of visualize. That's what Tyler Perry was doing. He was visualizing, and I talk about that in the book. See, sales is 85% psychological and 15% technique. I got to get in your head first. So we talk about your self-image as a salesperson, how you see yourself, what are your attitude toward God, family, and education, what is your dislikes, what's your SWOT analysis, your likes and dislikes, how you build personal worth, how you build ambition, drive, and enthusiasm, and how you set goals. Because if you don't have goals, you're bound to hit nothing right in the center. I read this book, and I made it like that, so it's a workbook. I read my book with all those pages of workbook in it every day. Why? Because you got to start putting this in your mind. The mind work when you think it, you got to ink it. You got to put it in the computer. And you got to have a positive disposition. You got to think in the affirmative. You know, as a man thinks, so is he. So as a man continue to think, so shall he remain. You got to get rid of that thinking and get some positive thinking. Do your thing.
Oh, Jarvis, I love that. Without a vision, the people perish. That was a backup too coming out of you. And I love the fact that you said, when you think it, you got to ink it. Now, listen, Jarvis, let me tell you something about these queens here on the show today. Diva J was at the Well. We actually did the show in June. We did a live because Candy Low inside of the Well is a live broadcast studio. We did the show. DJ CEO came there for National Black Business Month. They were represented. And Queen came over in June as we were celebrating the whole Juneteenth, she came over and brought all of these African designs, purses, jewelry. That's where I got this one. And we could not, she created a bottleneck at the well.
Yes.
Even though we gave her the biggest corner, but people just gravitated over there to her. And I certainly hope you did well, Queen. But they were all at the well. So we are so familiar with the well. We'll be joining Javas on a week from today at the well. I think you're doing a lunch presentation.
Yeah, let me just lay it out. I got a full day in Polk County, in Lakeland, Florida. I did a vending business over there for 7 years. I was selling old school movies and CDs and stuff over at the on Memorial. So I have great relationships in Lakeland in Polk County. So what I want to say is at the Central Florida Diversity Council with Larry Mitchell, I'll be there. Rolanda McDuffie, she'll be doing her presentation that morning at 9:30. And from 12 to 2, I'll be doing a lunch and learn, talking about, you don't want to miss that. You want to really get the nuts and bolts. So what this book is all about, come to that lunch and learn. We're going to go through it. I have a 20-minute presentation that would change your life forever. So I'll be doing that at the well, the lunch and learn, and the big networking event with networking and with entertainment.
I appreciate
That's going to be
that.
from 6 to 8 that night.
I appreciate that, Diva J. We did that. We were over there with Larry, and Larry's getting ready to kick off his big, I think it's like 30-something years he's been putting on his event. Donald Dowridge is going to be the guest speaker. We will be back over there. I think it's October the 29th, but we'll put that flyer up. And if you certainly get our e-blast, then the flyer has already been a part of it. Ricky, my admin, do you by any chance have that video that we can share with the Black Business Bus Tour? And if not, we understand you, Javas. Diva J and I had to do the same thing. We started with Larry, came back for the lunch and learn. We just stayed in Lakeland. We're gonna stay there.
We're gonna stay there all day. And this is a major sacrifice for me because this is 2 days before my queen's birthday. For my wife's birthday is the 30th. And so
make sure you take her to see Woman King.
Ain't no doubt about it.
It was just a great movie. I want to segue because Jeanette has some nuggets that she wants to share.
Okay, no problem.
She wants to share some nuggets, and then we want to hear back from Queen and then Candy, because I'm telling you, this is the fastest hour ever. It's like 20 minutes turns into an hour.
Yes.
But that being said, Diva J?
No, absolutely. I mean, this is an exciting show for me today because you have experts already on the line. Jarvis dropped some nuggets even in his self-promo. So if you wasn't taking notes, I know I was. The same with Candy. So, I mean, it's preaching to the choir to talk to our guests, but I think for our viewers, I hope a couple things that they're hearing out of this is, one, you got to see it to believe it. And if you don't see it, imagine it. One of the best pieces of advice I was given before I left Tampa and went to Howard was dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. So for today, if anybody saw me, there's no reason why I'm wearing a pinstripe dress, but that's because that's not I'm dressing for the job I want. and so oftentimes, I think we hear these things and while they may sound cliche, it's when you really are able to take these nuggets and apply them that you can really begin to see the results. And so, Jarvis, I'm looking forward to getting that book. If Cheryl doesn't gift it to me, I might have to pick it up this weekend.
Yeah, she already has it.
I definitely will.
Done deal. She knows I love to give away books.
Yes, indeed. So a couple of other nuggets for our viewers. For those of you who are kind of transitioning, the world has awakened, right? I'm not going to say the pandemic's over, but we're back. We are back in action. I recently just did an event with over 1,000 folks there, and people are out and about. So for folks who've been selling their retail items and products online, that's great. But you also need to start getting back to vending, get in front of people, put yourself out there, whether it's door to door, whether it's signing up for vending opportunities like the one that's coming up this weekend, getting on the shows, going and putting yourself in a position to be an expert is also kind of one of those new ways. And how can you do that, right? If no one's calling to book you to be a speaker, start your own show. We have technology at our fingertips. So if you're someone that does hair and you're trying to get more customers, do some tutorials online. You can even start to create, this is residual income. You can create your own online tutorials for whatever it is that you do. At this point, not only do you have those resources, but people who are looking to educate themselves are looking for these same resources. And I'll use my niece as an example. Based in Atlanta, young, beautiful, and Black, has started a trucking company. And I said to her, well, you know how many people would love to learn how to start a trucking company? So now she has an online course that you can take for essential trucking at $400 to learn how to dispatch and purchase your own trucks. Now, let me tell you, there is nothing but opportunity. So I am inspired by the stories of Candy, Jarvis, Queen Regina. Just continue to do what you're doing, because there's a whole generation coming up that's looking forward and knowing that if you did it, we can do it. We can support you while you're doing it, and hopefully carry that torch forward to the next level, and using all of these different tools that we have at our fingertips to only enhance it. Candy, I don't know if this is happening, but I'm ready to help you get this started in DC immediately. So I am excited. I am very excited just about the opportunity that I know is at store here. And Cheryl, thank you for always inviting just the best guests on the show for me, because it's just so great to meet you all and to learn about what you're doing. And let me put my shameless plug in here before I hand it back. If you have not seen The Woman King, I need you to go and watch The Woman King. I left that theater feeling like a whole new woman. I ran a mile the next day and played African music and was like, I am zoned in to who I truly am. So for me, it was one of the few movies that I've ever watched where, and I said to my husband, is it weird that I feel like this is me? So, you know, if you haven't seen it, I just want to put it out there. This is a must-watch movie. So I'm going to hand it back to you, Cheryl.
It is. And DJ CEO, if you're listening, because I know the weather's going to be changing, he got us through the pandemic. They started events at the courtyard at 5508. It was just an amazing thing. We were social distancing out there, and one day he'll come on the show and explain it. But he brought us together. And for the whole summer, again, he brought us together, the courtyard of 5508. And I hope this is not the last one, DJ CEO. But listen, meet us at 5508 this Friday, 7 p.m. It's technically free, but you get to leave a donation to their scholarship fund. And he can send that information. There it is. I see the flyer up there. So please make sure that you come and support. It's all about keeping our kids in school. And one of the things that their scholarship does is called the Last Mile Scholarship, and helping those students and those of us who've struggled to get out of that last year and that last semester of school. It's a great thing to be a part of. But Diva J, on that note, I'm reminded of one of my colleagues, Oscar Horton, who owns Sun State Trucking. Talk about pivoting. He started in one arena and turned that whole trucking business around and started using a bunch of other services. And this is what he said to me the first time I met him. And he said, Cheryl, I'll be one of your balcony friends. And I said, balcony friends? He said, you should always have people way up high in the balcony. They're doing well. You can call on them for successful business tips. You can call on them for support. And that's exactly what he's done over the years. So when you start to think, like, and we were talking about the movie, think about those individuals like a Tyler Perry, a Viola Davis, and Oprah Winfrey. You got a vision, as Jarvis said, the people, that position, that house, whatever it is that you want to be, act like you're already there, just like it, as Diva J says. Let me quickly segue to you, Queen. We'll end with Candy, and Ricky, if you have the tape, we'll play the video going out. But let me take this opportunity to say thank you to our engineers at InTouch. Thank you, InTouch News. Thank you to all of our Facebook, our social media platforms, including YouTube, for taking your lunch break with us. Listen, we are Black, B-L-A-C-K, Black to business. Here's your opportunity. If you didn't get on the bus, drive behind the bus. Regina?
Yes. I am so excited. Today has been so full. I'm excited about Saturday. As you can see in my voice earlier, I am when it comes to bringing our Black businesses together, I'm like Candy, we'll sleep after the event. But prior to that is so much energy that's going into it because we want to make it something greater than great, better than better. Each event. So this Saturday is just like, I'm overwhelmed. I cannot wait. I know it's going to be a lot of people here. Yeah. This is her 16th year. So, you know, I mean, over time, and I have a lot of people that are saying they're coming. I'm still telling people about it, but I'm just really excited about what she has done, where we're going with this, you know, like Diva J said, she's ready for it to come to Washington. Candy and I talked about Columbus. They can't have her, but we'll lend her over to the other states. But I'm really excited. But then we have Jarvis coming on about this book. And I don't have this book, and I need that book, Jarvis. I need that book.
Okay, Jarvis, I'm buying 2 more books.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I want the book. I'm like, yeah, I need the book. Yes, so I'm excited about it. Hopefully I can sell the book from my store as well. So yes, I'm really excited about it that I can maybe purchase some from you and sell them from the store. But awesome. Yes, it's amazing.
Queen, we're going to have to segue to the Queen Candy Lowe because we're going to have to wrap up the show or at least give In Touch News a moment to sign off. But I did want to say, DJ CEO, I know you're listening. If there's any way we can show the movie, I know we're trying to get it out in the theaters, but if there's some way we can show the movie under the stars or in the garage, can you make that happen for us? Okay, there's your assignment. Candy Lowe. Oh,
thank you so much.
He said yes. He's gonna make it happen. Candy Lowe.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much again, Miss Cheryl, for having me on. And guys, Jarvis is the best at it. He is the best at it. I don't know anyone tops the town better than he does in a high cotton way, I must say. And Regina, thank you so much for this partnership. I'm excited. We was talking about Black Anything, DSI, Black Pages, Black in the Bay, back in the day, and the Power Broker magazine. All that makes me happy. This Saturday, we will have our vending showcasing from noon to 3 p.m. It's our community reunion Black Business Bus Tour. And the next hour, within the next hour, anyone that calls me at 813-394-6363, the first 2 people call get 2 seats on the Black Business Bus Tour.
Wait, dial that number right now. Dial it, DVJ. I don't have my phone. Dial that number real quick. Listen, thank you. We will see you all on Saturday. Listen, there are spots at the Well the last Wednesday of the month so that, well, you'll have to get my books. We'll pick up my 2 books at the Well, Jarvis, but I just want to say thank you. Listen, DJ CEO has just made me so happy. They're going to figure out how to bring the movie here at some point down the road, and we can see it out in the courtyard or in the warehouse. But until then, meet us at 5508 this Friday, 7 p.m. And let's come in and support that event because they certainly got us through the pandemic by having us come outdoors and just, play cards, have friends, talk with your friends, have a drink, whatever it is that you do that makes you happy. Thank you all so much. We look forward to seeing you all on Saturday, and we'll see Jarvis back at the Well. Meet us at the Well. There's vending opportunities. And Jarvis, vending is free for the vendor, right? He's muted, but I'm pretty sure vending is free. So this show, everybody, thank you. See you next Wednesday is a wrap.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you. Nice seeing you, Queen. Nice meeting you. Today we got to get together.